This podcast should be American. 110% fucking blood red American. The NDAA. Yeah! Everybody playing vagina left and right. Cyborg Jesus.
Jesus, America.
Hey, this is Redban coming to you live from Death Squad Studios here in the Pasadena Ice House for a brand new episode of Pointless. Here's Kevin Pereira.
OM Jesus. Welcome, everybody, to the Pointless Podcast. Thank you for that intro, Brian. Today's guest, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for a writer, actor, bassist.
That's right.
The news is dropping like mad, just like the beats. Steve Agee is here.
Booyah!
That is it. Oh, what?
Those guys right there.
Yeah, you brought your posse. Thank you for bringing the undead crew with you. How are you, good sir?
I'm good. Now I'm gonna want to watch the monitor.
That's all right. That's all right. Hey, cut you when I'm on or when you're on. I will press them against the glass. You just tell me.
There's a monitor right there.
There it is. You've been staring at monitors for the last few days, hoping that this NBC madness gets picked up.
I've been staring at Hollywood Reporter for 4 days now.
Just constantly refreshing. Is it you go from computer refreshing to maybe laptop to got to take a shit, take out the iPhone, constantly refreshing there?
It's usually with the iPhone. I did a pilot for NBC, and Kumail Nanjiani, a very funny comedian, did it with me. And Friday, NBC was supposed to finish all their announcements for who they were picking up, what new shows. And so Kumail and I were at a bar all day Friday, just on our phones, refreshing to see if our show got picked up.
Right.
And it eventually got to the point where our phones died, and Kumail was doing shots and was so drunk that his wife was like, "We're getting the fuck out of here."
Oh my god.
And we still don't know.
Where's that moment of like, well, it's 12:15. They're clearly there at lunch right now. They're not going to break the story at lunch. So let's wait until like 1:30. But it's Friday. It's probably going to be a late lunch, justifying all the reasons the news isn't out.
Oh, maybe. Well, they might be on New York time, so maybe they've already eaten lunch. It was.
Oh, it's so brutal. And is that how today was as well, or is it?
The upfronts were yesterday for MTV. All right, NBC. And we still don't know. We're like the only NBC show that's like. Oh my God.
What is it? How many times have you been through that kind of process in this industry?
This is the only
this is
time.
it. This is the first network pilot. Like
I did one pilot for Comedy Central for the Sarah Silverman show, but for some reason I wasn't really acting when I did that. I was a writer at Kimmel at that time, and so I'd just done it because Sarah wrote the part for me. And then I just went back to Kimmel, and I wasn't even thinking about, I wonder if it's going to get picked up. And then it got picked up, and I quit my job and went to do Sarah's
the fucking Tab episode to this day is still one of my favorite pieces of television ever created. I mean, you were incredible on that series, and that episode was brilliant.
It's the most referenced episode I think I get called on.
It's so good, so good. I mean, I loved you on the entire series, but
thanks.
But let's take a step back real quick, because you didn't come to LA with dreams of waiting on pilots at a bar or or writing for Kimmel, which is also incredible. But like,
waiting on pilots at a bar is still not a dream.
Someone out there is at a bus stop right now with stars in their eyes. They want to come out here and refresh and do shots.
Stay at home. It's my advice to those people.
Now, what brought you out to La La Land?
I was playing in a band, with friends from college, and we decided, let's go to Hollywood and try and make it big. I was just like, I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do with my life. I knew from an early age I wanted to be a comedian, but for some reason I didn't think that was possible. I was like, how can you do that? How do you make a living?
Right.
For some reason I thought making it in a band was
way
easier.
Comedian, that's ridiculous. I'm going to be a rock star and a bassist at that.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. It was like, oh yeah, I'll be a musician since I don't know how to make it in acting or comedy, which turns out that's way harder. Way harder than acting or comedy is being, because you're relying on 5 other people to make it.
Yeah, and a rickety van, and at one point MySpace. Like that was going to make or break you.
This was pre-computers.
So bring me back. Bring me back.
This was like early to mid 90s.
So what were you guys playing? Like angry thrash metal? Were you punk pop? Were you
kind of Buzzcocks sounding type? I think we opened. I grew up in Riverside, which is an hour away from LA, and we were a big fish in a small pond. So like anytime bands would come through LA, the club owners would let us open for them because there wasn't a lot of other bands to choose from. So we were opening for people like Sublime and a lot of ska bands. Ska was huge, you know, like Hepcat and Skeletones, Voodoo Glow Skulls. But then they would also anyone that would come through Riverside, the club owners would be like, you want to open for this band? And we would open for like really hardcore punk bands like HR and Youth Brigade, and like crazy hard bands.
How hard is this? Like, you're definitely going to get your neck
this
cut
is like,
in the mosh pit kind of hard, or this is like count the swastikas out there.
Like really? White supremacists, like people throwing shit at you and spitting on you. Like, it was fucking nuts.
Let them wear their SS helmets. It's a phase. They'll grow out of it, guys.
They'll grow out of it.
And were you like? People know that you're a white supremacist. People know that. You're
clearly,
thankfully, you're part of the superior
skinned
race.
Yeah.
You were blessed with those genetics.
Absolutely, thank God.
But would they welcome you with open arms when you were on stage, or were you like, what the fuck are we playing for these guys?
No. We learned early on that all we had to do was just play our regular songs twice as fast, and they were totally fine. It was crazy. Like, I think the first really hardcore band we opened for was this band called Youth Brigade, which is really, really fucking intense. And our first song, our songs that we thought were like fast and hard, but like when you start playing them for a punk audience, you're like, oh shit, this is nothing like they want. And then
they don't want to slow dance right now. They want to punch faces and do meth.
After one song, the singer's like, just play fucking faster. And we did it.
That's that thing you do moment where Spartacus just takes over and he's like, fuck it, let's win this talent show.
It is exactly
Except for
that.
you, it's like, let's give them a soundtrack to inject heroin to.
Play as fast as you fucking can.
So did you just ratchet it up?
Yeah. Oh, I better play with a pick because my fingers don't go that fucking fast now.
I'm surprised they didn't eat you alive for playing with a pick, man. Those fingers need to bleed.
No, man, they don't fucking. I don't know what those people want.
You went on the long trek, the giant journey from the land of Riverside to Los Angeles proper.
Yeah, I had nothing to lose.
Yeah, it was.
I came
crazy.
here, and if it was like things aren't working out, I was 45 minutes away from mom and dad. I could have been like, yeah, that wasn't working.
Yeah, as long as I don't leave rush hour times, I'll get home before the tears are dry. It's okay.
If I leave at 11 a.m., everything's gonna be fine. My room is still there.
But did you make the trek as a band and like get the studio apartment in Koreatown?
Not really. No. I moved out with my girlfriend, and the band would come and crash at my place.
Oh, did she love that? Was she a groupie, or was that ultimately one of the?
No, she was with me before I was even in a band. She was cool. She's the girl I moved to LA with. She's the girl that left me in LA to figure my shit out after a while, and same with the band. They left me, and I was like, I'm gonna stay here. And met a girl who was taking classes at the Groundlings, and I was like, oh, I guess I am gonna try this comedy shit. And I went to some shows, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try doing comedy again. Did
she just sort of expose you to that scene, or was it like, I want to get this girl and be near this girl, so I'm gonna go ahead and try that thing?
She was super smoking hot, and that was the first thing. Like my room,
yes, and
my roommate was a photographer, and he took photos of she was in a theater group, and he took photos of them, and I went to a play with him that they were doing, and I was like, fuck, this girl's smoking hot, and she was telling me about Groundlings, which is really funny because she was saying, I knew a long time ago that Groundlings was where Saturday Night Live gets a lot of its cast members, that in Second City, but I was too far from Chicago. And I remember when I was like 18 calling the Groundlings Theater and saying, hey, I want to be in your company. I want to be a company member. I want to be on SNL.
Listen, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've decided I'm going to do the SNL thing.
It's my dream. I want to be on SNL.
See you guys around 2 on Thursday. Does that work? I'll be there.
And whoever was on the phone, she's like, you have to take classes. You have to pay and take like 4 levels of classes. And I was like, you guys are full of shit. I'm like, I remember I was like, that's fucking bullshit. That's a scam. And I hung up the phone.
That's amazing.
Cut to, 10 years later, I'm like auditioning, playing one-word story and weird shit like that.
So you saw her, immediately said, all right, this woman's smoking hot. I will yes and for days for this woman.
Yeah, but then she took me to a show, and I was like, oh, this is definitely what I want to do.
And did you take to it right away? I mean, you said that you you were younger and you thought, that comedy thing, other than being more difficult than being a bassist, that looks like something I'd want to do. Did you have any practice at it, or was that like feet to the flames?
Well, I'd never done improv or sketch comedy, which is really what Groundlings is about. But I had tried doing stand-up, when I was like 18 and 19. When I was still like not really in a band yet and just trying to figure shit out, I was doing stand-up. Like, here at the Ice House was one of the first places I ever did stand-up. And I couldn't figure it out. I didn't have a voice, I couldn't.
Were you trying to copy like other comedians and go, oh, that's funny, they're all both this kind of cadence or style or observation into
I was just writing what I knew from watching comedians or listening to like my favorite comedians.
Like
and
Whoopi Goldberg.
I was going to say, you up there telling black jokes.
No, but I used to do show. There was a guy, I don't know if he still works here, Dave McNary. Is he still here?
What would he do?
He was booking like the annex and I think the main room.
Oh.
And I did so many shows here that, and that's all I would do is shows here. And I would all my friends would come. And so like the place would be packed.
All your white supremacist buddies would come in.
All the Nazis would be here, but all my friends would be here like laughing. And I thought I was doing really good. And then Dave was like, I have a friend who books a show over in Burbank. And, so he gave me the guy's number.
Your first road gig.
And it was in this like little cafe or something, and I fucking went, and it turned out it was like an urban show. Like it was all black comedians. Like it was like a scaled down Apollo. And I'm like the only fucking white guy. And I walked in the room, was just like drenched in sweat. I was like, I'm way over my head. And sure, like nothing I said was getting laughed. The only laughter was coming from my girlfriend, who was in the back of the room, not laughing at my jokes, but laughing at how fucking uncomfortable it was. Like I could hear her evil, like, ah! I was so fucking mad. And then I didn't do stand-up after that for like 8 years.
Oh,
I was
the
like,
Burbank gig crushed you?
Yeah.
I had the same thing happen to me with a Bob Hope joke. Like I lived in Ohio, and I was trying to get stage time all the time. The day Bob Hope died, I was like, I wrote this great Bob Hope joke. It was right after 9/11, and then I said it, and then I got booed and hissed, and quit comedy for 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's true. I mean, I can't. The notion of going on stage crushes my soul in a way that I can't imagine having actually gone on stage and gone through that. That just sounds.
I still haven't had a moment as horrible as that moment.
Really? I just did the Black Casino the other day. Tiffany Haddish has a room out at this casino that's like an hour and a half away. All black audience, all black comics, only white guy. It was really hard. I don't think anyone laughed at anything. But everyone told me I would do good because I'm really gross and disgusting, and black guys like that. But I mean, it was. I don't know. There was just women in the back, or in the front, that were in wheelchairs, like old black ladies, just dabbing their heads with napkins, glowing like "Lord have mercy" and stuff. And I'm like, oh,
making them sweat, making them sweat. So, from Groundlings to when did you finally have that moment of this is the gig, or that's the thing, or oh fuck yeah, this is it, I got it, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm gonna do?
I mean, it was all really gradual. I mean, while I was at Groundlings, I got an agent and I started doing commercials. Very. Few and far between.
What guy were you on the commercials?
Usually just the goofy retard,
What, who can't figure out fabric softener, or who really likes wings?
That's every guy in every commercial. Every man is made to look like a fucking idiot.
It's so true. I can't understand that, especially when, like, it pisses me off as a man, but also, like, as a potential customer. I'm like, why do you always make your customers look like fucking idiots?
Yeah.
I just don't understand why companies...
Especially all the products that are geared towards women,
It's, although us guys are... What is Dr. Pepper doing with the Dr. Pepper 10? Could they stop already? Have you seen that? Like, fuck you, chicks. You can't drink this soda. Is that supposed to embolden me as a man
they really
to want to drink...
targeting men with that.
Yeah.
It's like Coke Zero, but
they literally say, like, women, this drink isn't for you. That was like one of their big commercials of like, sorry, no chicks allowed. This is a dude's beverage. And it was like guys shooting machine guns. And I'm like, who's the woman out there that's going to go like, challenge accepted, I'll show you. I can drink this Dr. Pepper 10.
And no dude wants to drink that shit either.
Exactly.
I had fun with that commercial. Like, I actually bought it, and this girl I was dating at the time, every time I was like, you're not allowed to touch it and stuff. And the second she did have it, I smacked the can out of her hand. But it fucking totally exploded everywhere, so it was stupid.
And then it would escalate. Then he would strike her with a full can, which really started leaving marks.
Yeah.
And that's where the story takes a turn, Brian. We really need to talk about that.
Dr.
It's not...
Pepper 10.
But it makes for a great Vine.
Speaking of the Tab episode of Sarah Silverman's show.
Oh my God, yeah.
Did we talk about Sarah Silverman here, or was that before the show?
No, we brought up that that it was a thing. Yeah.
Jesus, sometimes
you haven't had your tab in a while. You gotta get your caffeine levels right.
All of a sudden, I was like, "Wait, was that before we started recording that we were talking about that?"
Are we ready to go live, Brian? Let's go ahead and start
here we go.
And play the intro.
And go.
All right.
It was originally not Tab in the script. It was Diet Dr. Pepper.
Really?
And they approached Dr. Pepper, and they're like, "Fuck no, you can't use our soda in your episode."
Fuck you and your free publicity and your amazing advertising that people are going to talk about for years to come.
Yeah.
Did they even see the script? Like, the product wasn't
I think that's why they saw the script and thought we were making
Dr. Pepper
fun of
hates
it.
gays. Is that what we're finding out? Not only do they
Who
hate
knows?
women, but they clearly
Who
hate the
knows?
gays.
Maybe.
God. Were there any Dr. Pepper reps at your rock shows? Because I bet they're anti-Semitic, too. I bet they hate the Jews and love really fast bass music.
They were moshing their asses off.
You heard it here first. By the way, this podcast brought to you by anybody but Dr. Pepper at this point.
By the way, always hit the girl in the back of the head with your Dr. Pepper 10 so you
Always.
can't see the bruises.
The hair covers it. It's really nice.
I didn't know that. That's good to know.
No, Your Honor. That's a bump it. That's not a bruise.
Yeah.
That's not brain swelling. That's a Hollywood bump it.
That's
She
good
loves
to
the
know.
big hair.
Hollywood bump.
When you guys changed it to Tab, were they on board? Did they pay you, or did they just say, you could use it? I mean, the show.
I don't know how any of that works.
I hope that they got a giant check for that, because that was the most brilliant advertising I'd seen in ages.
I didn't find out that story until we were like halfway through the episode.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, it seems better as Tab anyway.
Way better, yeah.
I can't picture Diet Dr. Pepper. Fuck that.
Did they send you pink tracksuits, or did they give you like
There
a case of
was-
Tab, or...
Fucking Tab everywhere. And that's one of the first episodes, I think, or maybe it was like halfway through the season, but there was fucking Tab on set for the whole rest of the season. Like, it was fucking everywhere. There were cases of it everywhere.
I love it. We got a Tab guy. Make it Tab run?
And I offered to buy the Tab car.
Did you?
There was a car that we had, put Tab decals
Yeah.
and we painted it pink, and I was like, I'll buy that car. And it was a rental that they had painted, and they had to give it back.
Bummer.
But looking back now, I'm like, that would have been weird as shit.
That would have been really weird.
For me to be driving something from a show.
That would have been
I was
entirely appropriate and amazing. When you said you were writing for Kimmel at the time, that you went out for that pilot, right? For Silverman?
Well, I didn't even have to go out for it. She just wrote it.
She wrote
for
the
me.
part
But
for
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
Was that the first sort of TV scripted kind of gig of that nature?
Yeah.
Was it pure commercials before then, other than maybe sketches here and there?
It was all commercials before then, and I remember while I was at Groundlings, oh, Jesus Christ. This episode...
For those who are listening to the audio only, the Tab episode is on the old screen right now.
He's showing a clip of Brian and I smoking pot, medical marijuana, in the Tab car. And when we shot this scene, it was about 105 degrees outside. It was summer, and I had strep throat. So I had 102 fever. It's sitting in a car that was... probably with all the lights on, closer to 115 degrees.
Yeah, that's a microwave right there. That's a tin can.
Like happy and stoned.
Were you really smoking?
No, my God, that's amazing. Because most people go with the patented bullshit answer of like, no, it was an ecstasy cigarette.
Well, you never
it was
see
herb.
us smoking on screen. Comedy Central wouldn't allow that.
But you definitely see smoke coming from your nose and or mouth hole in a couple takes.
There, not saying that we were never in the trailers before scenes doing it, because there's a lot of scenes of Brian and I just high on the couch, and it's like, why not get high and sit on the couch and do this?
Let's be method right now, here.
What was I saying before that?
We're talking about this being the first sort of scripted.
Oh yeah, it was all, I was taking classes at Groundlings, and one of my teachers hooked me up with my first job working in TV, which was reality TV, and it was working on Road Rules.
What did
and
you
I
do
stayed
on
at
Road
Road
Rules?
Rules and Real World for years.
Did
I
you
didn't
work
know
with
there was
Christina Pazsitzky when she was on there? Tom Segura, I don't know if you know him, a comedian, comic, his wife, blonde hair girl.
Oh, yeah.
Christina Pazsitzky.
She was Real World or Road Rules Australia.
Yeah.
That was the season I started.
Oh, wow.
I was logging.
How many years into the Road Rules thing was that, you think? Like,
that was maybe the first year of Road Rules.
Oh, really?
Or no, it was like the second or third.
And she pretty much slept with everyone, probably, right?
No, she was pretty good. She was cool. She was my favorite cast member, by the way.
She's cool.
She was really cool. And it was my job when I started doing all this stuff. I was what they call a logger, where you watch all the videotapes from the road, and you have to watch them and
do you transcribe, right?
Yeah, log the information onto the computers for the writers.
1 hour, 25 minutes, 15 frames. Clara clearly getting her. 1 hour, 24 minutes, 17. Clara giving it to everybody else in the
8
van.
hours a day of that.
Oh my God!
And I went from that. I did Road Rules Australia, Road Rules Mexico. Then I went to Real World Seattle, Real World Hawaii, and then I quit and got a job basically doing the same thing at the Osbournes. And
okay. So within the MTV family and transcribing, what did you put for Ozzy? Did you just mash your forehead against the keyboard?
The worst one, because that was when he was really on the pills and like you couldn't understand him more so than ever. And
you could put socks on a cat and let it run over a typewriter, and you'd end up with the same words that Ozzy was speaking.
My job was to transcribe the interviews. Like, I wasn't even logging; I was just transcribing what they were saying.
My God. Would someone come up to you and go like, "At 15 minutes, you wrote what is that?"
It was a lot of. Sharon, undecipherable. Like a lot of just undecipherable.
Like a redacted FBI document.
Sharon, I'm going to go in the bar safe.
Oh my God. So, and what?
Fucking horrifying.
And some people are hearing this and don't realize that the 14 minutes that they saw Ozzy per episode or on average was hours and hours and hours that you had to fucking wade through and transcribe.
Because there's like at least five camera guys there shooting. So you have 5 cameras shooting for, 10 hours. That's so you multiply that by 5.
Did you have to sign crazy agreements that say you won't talk about what you saw that didn't make the cut? And have those expired yet?
Non-disclosure agreements.
Those must have been 5-year agreements.
I think they're 5-year agreements.
Yeah, they're 5. So what do you got?
I got nothing.
Damn it. I was hoping there was a...
Pedro's blood would be on every single couch, so we always...
That was before my time.
Yeah, the Pedro days. Remember when reality TV was real?
Ugh.
Do you watch any of it these days? What are you into?
I don't watch reality TV.
No.
I saw Puck the other day in Hollywood, just fucking walking the street. I think he was homeless.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you give him a buck?
No, I just looked at him.
I think he probably had the toughest, life after.
I think so. He was Snooki before
and...
Snooki. It was a little too rough. He burnt too bright.
Yeah,
that was his problem. He just burned a little
he
too
didn't
bright.
Fade out.
Nope.
He
there were just feathers and wax in his living room when he was done. Icarus got a little too close.
Too close to the sun.
To that sun, poor Puck. But what do you watch these days if you're not into the reality obsession?
Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, probably my favorite show in a decade, easily.
Still strong?
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you not watch it?
I watched the first season, loved it, but was in a relationship where my girlfriend at the time said it gave her too much anxiety and she couldn't watch it. And we were really trying to rally around watching the same shows to, kill an hour at night.
I have a hard time watching shows where the characters make me anxious and uncomfortable, but for some reason that one doesn't do it.
That's weird, because that's why I don't watch it. Same reason. It
really?
just makes me stressed out. Like I start gnawing at my foot and stuff like that.
Is that because the meth use is comforting to you? Is that the part that
I did a lot of meth in high school.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Out in Riverside?
Well, no, I got sent to military school.
Oh, what did you got sent there because you were doing meth, or you got sent there to do meth?
No, I didn't start doing meth till I went to military school.
No shit.
Because I was a heavy drinker when I was in high school, like my first few years of high school, and my grades were slipping. I was, getting drunk in school. It was very regularly. I would, on my way to school, go to 7-Eleven, get a big gulp, fill it only halfway with like Coke, and then the rest with rum.
Oh,
and
wow.
I would just start drinking first period.
That's power drinking.
So by lunch, I would be fucking annihilated.
Were you solo in that endeavor, or did you have like a posse of friends? Okay, so you were the only one with the captain leg up on the stool at lunch.
I had friends that would drink, but not as much as me. And it started with some seniors when I was, I think, a freshman, getting me drunk, and I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Right.
I remember the first time I drank, like they went and paid like a homeless guy to buy us Boone's Farm strawberry.
Oh, my Boone's Farm.
And we each drank a whole bottle. And I was so nervous. I was like, am I going to throw up? Because I hate throwing up. I'm like, am I going to throw up? And they're like, just shut up and fucking drink this. And I remember going, oh, my face is so warm. This is amazing. And then I think we went and watched some Eddie Murphy movie, maybe 48 Hours or something. And I was just fucking laughing the whole time. And I was like, I'm going to drink all the time. I feel amazing.
This is it. I just found the rest of my life each and every day. Here's the answer.
I wasn't afraid of talking to girls. I was like, this is the fucking best shit in the world.
Right.
And then I got sent to military school because I was just out of control.
So
and then
where was military school?
Valley Forge, Pennsylvania.
When I hear military school, I think of
TAPS.
I think of TAPS.
That's the school I went to.
The same school
where they shot TAPS.
So is it white gloves and dudes with guns that have bayonets and they're screaming at you and like running fingers along desks and no shit.
Oh yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude. It's everything you perceive it to be.
So when you're getting sent there, when you're on the plane or you're on the Greyhound or whatever you were taking to get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're shackled in my head. You're shackled back of the plane with everybody else. And are you like, fuck it, whatever, man, I got this? Or are you pissed off and scared?
Shit. For those only listening, that's the school I went to. I was doing parades like that
during an earthquake.
Amazing.
Yeah, just Google or YouTube Valley Forge Military Academy for those of you who are only listening to this.
This looks like a homecoming celebration at my high school, but this is just pretty much every day at yours.
I would totally do meth.
This was every Sunday.
Well, that's what I want to get to. I want to get to clearly if you're at a place like that, you're going to try to escape any way you can, even if it's your own brain and veins. But so on the way there, were you like, I'm tougher than this, fuck this shit? Were you scared? Were you
terrified?
Really?
I was going to a school where I didn't know anybody.
Right. You didn't know if there'd be Boone's Farm either.
And that's the thing. That's the thing with the drug use is you have daily inspections in your room. You don't have closets and shit. You have open face closets where you just all
hang
your shit
clothes and
is
that's
visible.
Like,
yeah. And so you can't hide alcohol, but you can fucking hide drugs, like in your shoes and in socks and stuff.
Right.
So
mule it to recess. It happens. It happens. It's all right.
No, that never happened. Thank God. It didn't get that bad. But
so you're on your way there by plane, shaking. You know you're gonna land and not fucking know anybody. I'm sure people have told you how scary and serious and how crazy this school is gonna be. Right? They probably pumped your head full of that.
No, I didn't know. I only knew what I'd seen in TAPS, which I was like, it can't be like TAPS because those kids wanted to be there. They took over the school when it was threatened to be shut down. Where in real life we would have been like, we'll help you pack. We don't fucking want to be here. And so I didn't have any idea what it would be like. When I was 16 or 17 when I got sent there, all I knew of military school was it was always a threat in teen movies. Like, you don't shape up, we're sending you to Bill and Ted. We're sending you to military school.
Oh man, the Wild Stallions are going to be ruined.
and they never got sent to military school. Like you never actually saw it.
Right.
And it was way worse than I could have imagined.
Did day one, are they screaming in your face and make you buzz your hair, or how does that? Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking like almost facetiously, and you're like, yeah, that's how the fuck they do it.
Anything you come up with in watching Stripes or shit where people go into the army, Full Metal Jacket, it's shit like that. People yelling at you
and so
the speed. It wasn't a huge problem with me, but I was using it because we would have to get up at like 5:30 in the morning, go run like 3 or 4 miles, do calisthenics, then come back and like clean the barracks, then shower and get ready for school. You go eat breakfast, and then you go to fucking school all day. Like you were fucking exhausted.
Right. You're used to grabbing the big gulp.
Oh my God. It was
and mixing versus getting up and doing the calisthenics and then hitting the books.
I was used to, sleeping till about 7:30, waking up and rushing to high school.
Would your bunkmate massage you awake?
That's what you're laughing at.
If you search for Steve Agee, a bunk buddy, you'll see.
What is this shit? What did you search
Kevin
for?
Rose used to be your bunkmate, and he's.
So, I mean, listen, it's
horrifying.
It's kind of like one of those things, like no one judges when you're in prison and no one judges when you're in military school. But, I mean, how many dudes, did you fuck like on a weekly basis? Did they lick the back of your shoulders? Like,
I
did
am
they
gonna
kiss
puke.
down your spine?
This is so.
Again,
wanna
I'll
know
reiterate.
what
If you
you
only get the
Google
audio
search.
version of this podcast, you are missing out
gay
on a
military
whole lot of
porn.
gay military porn.
Kevin Rose just tweeted this. I don't know what.
All right.
Just kidding.
Oh my god, that's horrifying.
No. So.
But what parents don't know when they send their kids to military school is they're sending their kid to a school with 1,000 of the biggest, best fuck-ups in the country.
Right.
Like
These are the
all-stars.
professionals. These are the ones
are the
who couldn't
all-stars.
get it together for the third act of the movie. These
It's
are the guys. It's the
fucking-
ragtag group.
This is 1,000 Bill Murrays in stripes, like just going apeshit.
Did you guys like get like close knit? Like, did you get each other's backs, or were
Band
there
of brothers, man.
Really? It was like, fuck, we're in this miserable place together. Let's figure it
Looking
out.
back on it, it's like, oh man, I actually had some really fucking amazing good times there.
Right.
While you're miserable, because you're kind of forced to bond with people who are also as miserable as you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're a teenager living through it, you're like, ugh, this is the fucking worst. I actually sold a pilot last year based on
going to private school.
I pitched that story, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll buy it," to FX, and then we wrote it, and FX passed on it.
Motherfuckers.
This is a video of me masturbating.
Oh, I thought this was the pilot.
What is this? No,
This is your-
That's the entire pilot.
this is me masturbating.
So let's talk about your creative
that
process,
got me
Steve.
a job. That got me a job on Sarah Silverman's show.
That's the one that
Really?
did it?
They asked Sarah wanted me to do the pilot. She told Comedy Central. I wrote these parts for Steve Agee and Brian Posehn, and they were like, "Who's Steve Agee?" And she's like, "He's a friend of mine. He's really funny, and he would be perfect with Brian for this part." And they're like, "We don't know who he is. He has to audition." She's like, "No, he doesn't have to audition." And they're like, "Well, we have to see video."
and
so
said
Sarah
you
said,
masturbating with us.
Sarah said, "Put together a tape of all your weirdo, creepy short films and send it to Comedy Central." And this, I believe, this is one of the things that I used to do.
How generous is that black box?
It's not off too far. But I did a whole series. I would do these holiday videos. Like, this is Halloween. I wake up and I'm like, it's Halloween. You know what that means? And it's just a hard cut to me masturbating.
Oh, let's
with
just
a
I want to
mask.
hear it sound full, please. I haven't seen that one. Let's just watch a second of it.
right.
Steve Agee, his holiday video.
Which is, oh yeah, I'm your trick or treat. Oh, I'm your trick. Oh my god, it's candy corn. Oh, fucking Halloween. Oh, fucking ghosts. Oh, graveyard. Oh, graveyard.
So,
Oh my god. I want to play that on loop
So-
like one of those spooky sound CDs for trick-or-treaters.
So each holiday, it's me. I did a Thanksgiving one where I've got Indian war paint on, and I'm just masturbating and saying phrases associated with that holiday.
Pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Ideas.
Oh, fucking yams. I don't remember. They're horrifying.
Pilgrims and yams. You've done similar vines, have you not? Have you not brought the masturbating to like a movie or TV thing on Vine? I thought I've seen that on your Vine.
Maybe. I don't know.
I love it. Your vines are so fucking good, man.
Thanks, man.
I
love Vine.
I called you the king of Vine. You retorted very graciously and said that you're the Duke or the
Duke,
Archduke
maybe.
or the... Yeah, come on. You're the king of Vine.
There's Seth, who's just on your podcast.
There you are with the
recently.
crown, yeah. What is it about Vine that gets that you get, and what is it about Vine that gets you?
I have a really short attention span. Like, it's hard for me to write like a actual script for something because it's hard for me to focus and stay in one place.
Hold that thought, Brian. Let's start the show. I want to get this on the show.
Okay,
Can we start it? Let's get that intro theme.
Got it ready. All right, going live.
So very
Can't
short
focus.
attention span.
Yeah.
Almost. So close to a bit. I tasted it. We were rounding third.
You guys should do a whole show where it's you just
restarting the show over and over again.
Like every 5 minutes.
That
you
may very
restart.
well be this
You
show
should-
today,
It'd be
Steve.
really amazing.
So short attention span. Vine enters your life, and you just go, "Oh yeah, I got this."
It's video tweets. It's I love it. And I get to use all the props that I acquired, doing all my weird sketch comedy stuff.
Do you
Handcuffs.
do you do you feel pressure at times of like, oh fuck, I haven't vined in a while. I got to figure out what this next 6 seconds is going to be, or.
I hadn't vined in a couple days, and then I vined today. Just one vine saying that I was doing this show with you and Brian.
So no pressure then. It's like when
no,
it happens.
not really.
Same release schedule as the podcast.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. It looks like I have horns right now.
Looks like a beautiful hairy butterfly landed right.
Yeah,
it's kissing your forehead.
There's a fucking moth on my head. Hello, Clarice. That's funny.
You recently did a Vine comedy show for Comedy Central.
Comedy Central did this weird experimental.
Wait, speaking of, now I'm the one with the short attention span. I'm sorry, but speaking of,
it's fine.
I was like, speaking of, what is that? Oh, it's a fake pussy.
Yeah, that's what.
Well, I mean,
why are they so sticky?
It's a jerk slave.
Don't use it. You're not supposed to hold it. I just used that before you guys came out.
No, it's fine. I licked it clean.
Did I knock over candles or anything?
No, that's all right. We're fine. It was on the candle to heat it up. I want it to be.
Yeah, that's how you heat it up.
Yeah, but not like full body temperature, just like an hour dead body temperature.
I thought they'd be slippery.
When you when you were talking about the Silverman thing, it boggles my mind when I hear like it's her show, it's her name on it. She goes, I wrote these parts for these two guys. They're my friend, and it's still like, well, he's gonna have to come on in and audition. Send us some video. Let's see. Like,
I hear that shit all the time.
That's
with
crazy
shows.
To me.
People will write parts for their friends, and then they'll be like, the network will be like, nope. It's actually
maddening.
It's easier to have happen, for like Comedy Central, like a smaller network. That stuff happens a lot, though. I think with network TV, where the actual network has a lot more say in who's doing it.
Right. The creators go, "Oh, this is exactly who we want and who we need," and then some exec goes, "Yeah, but no." Yeah. I don't. They need a better IMDb star rating or whatever the fuck they're looking at these days.
It's such a bummer.
Did you? Was the Silverman thing? Was that a blast?
It was the best TV gig I've had until I just did this pilot.
Yeah.
For NBC with Craig Robinson.
Can you talk about the pilot, like what it is at all, or?
It's I did this. The Office is ending right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, they finished shooting a while ago, and so they had a deal to do another show, a pilot with Greg Daniels, who is the showrunner on The Office, but starring Craig Robinson from The Office and Hot Tub Time Machine, who's fucking amazing. And he plays a guy in a band, and I'm his bass player, who like sleeps on his couch and is just a total stoner. It was a dream gig. It was like Sarah's show.
Well, it was written for you, apparently. Bassist,
it seems
stoner,
like it.
Couch, yeah.
And he has to, pay his bills because our band's not making money. He's substitute teaching. Oh, there's me and Craig right now. That's a thing we did for the Video Game Awards. And he has to supplement his income teaching music at a elementary school.
Nice.
And it was the best. Fucking Steve Little from Eastbound and Down.
Oh, I love him.
Fucking funny. Yeah. And Craig was great. It was just such a good cast, and Steve Pink, who directed Hot Tub Time Machine, directed this. And it's not dead yet, but it's just like no one knows what's happening. Right. I've heard.
Well, they have cleared the fucking shelf space over at that network pretty drastically. So I imagine that even if they give it a handful, 3-episode run, 6-episode run, something mid-season, try it.
I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like they're hanging on to it because they have so many new shows coming now. Like, there's got to be at least one that just fails, and I think we may be a mid-season replacement.
I was going to say, I think 75% of them probably will, and that's not. I'm not speaking about any specific show. I mean, it's just the way it goes, unfortunately, on network. Which, are you obviously with Vine and with your YouTube channel and some Vimeo videos? Are you a proponent of all things digital? Do you think like it's only a matter of time before that shift happens, no matter what? Or?
Oh yeah, I mean it's already happening. I don't think anyone's really figured out a way to make a seriously great living, at web series. Like web series are still something I feel like people are trying to crack.
Yeah, I think this has been a really surprising year. Like the new fronts just happened.
This year has been a huge step
600 shows happening, and 100 of those have real budgets.
Amazon shows, Netflix shows,
Hulu going after the original series, Yahoo launching a bunch, AOL,
Jash,
Rub Maps. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
Rub Maps.
God damn it. Do you know about Rub Maps?
What's Rub Maps?
Rub Maps. Now we're gonna fucking talk about it.
What's Rub Maps?
Rub Maps is Yelp for massage parlors.
Oh.
And you pay $14 a month for access to like the uncensored, like the real reviews. And you'd ever drive by the Thai massage place and go, I bet someone's coming in there right now. I bet someone's finishing into a bucket, towel,
this will tell
on.
You.
What, yeah?
This will tell you if they're doing, if that's
this
the
will
place.
This will tell you, but this will tell you like the front of house rules. It'll tell you what to say when you're in the back. It'll tell you which therapist to ask for, massage therapist, right?
Yeah.
And then it'll tell you like give you tips on like you should rub her knee at this point, you know. And if she starts to massage your butthole, I don't know, try to press some air out, so maybe she knows to put a finger in it. Like
Steve, you know the Three of Clubs, the
on Vine?
Yeah, Vine.
Yeah.
I was just there the other day drinking on the patio, and I look across in the same parking lot. There's a little massage place, and I'm like, that for sure is going to be one. Went on my phone. Not only was it one, it was a full service one. That's where you go to eat girls' buttholes and fuck them in the ass. And
that's a thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I know eating buttholes is a thing, but like in a massage parlor?
It's enough of a thing that it has a dedicated drop down and checkbox to it. Like on the thing, like they've got like finger the pussy and nipple play and ass play, like enough so that people check them. So you don't have to waste your time typing those words in.
Yeah. I thought those places were like you would get a massage and they would jerk you off. I didn't know you could do shit to the women too.
Yeah. I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Oh, you still don't know that, right?
No, I don't.
I mean, a guy you know though has a shit ton of experience, and
he maybe got jacked off by an old lady. You know, maybe he.
But I bet her hands were smooth and fucking young.
Nice, and maybe one of her breasts were gone because she had cancer earlier in her life.
Oh, what?
And I touched it, and it was indented. I mean, he touched it.
Oh my fucking God.
Oh my God. It's amazing. So I take it you've never had the Thai massage parlor experience. And I want to be clear, I haven't had it either. I'm not against it. I don't judge it. I've just never had it myself.
No, that shit terrified. I don't know how I would go. I'm so socially awkward. We did an episode of Sarah's show, actually, in the last season, where I go in to get a massage, and the Asian woman who's giving me a massage says, do you want full release? And I'm like, I think she means take a shit. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, full release. I'm like, what about the mess? She's like, we have towels. And I'm like, all right. And I shit on the fucking massage table.
I don't remember that.
This is the last season. It is fucking horrifying. And then it cuts to me like sitting in the lobby and there's all these Asian women screaming at me.
That's another thing, by the way. A lot of these places, I guess it's common. A lot of guys want this to do prostate massages. So they'll start off doing that as a prostate massage. And then if you don't stop them, then they know that you want a hand job also. But like if they start playing with your butt, and if you don't want it, you're supposed to clinch up. But like if you don't clinch up, they'll just sit there and start fingering your butthole and stuff.
Clinch up even if you
want it. You went to military school. Yeah. Come on now.
We saw the video.
I got a bottle of Boone's Farm back there.
I thought I hid that
you
video
were a lot blacker back then, but it was very gentle. Your kisses were very gentle.
I was younger and in better shape.
How many of these you mentioned that you moved to LA for a girl? You mentioned it seems like the improv girl women have been pivotal throughout the course of your life and or perhaps career. Mm-hmm. Has there been a massive heartbreak? Have you been the heartbreaker?
It's mostly been. It started off with me getting the heart broken, and every one of my relationships since the girl I moved to LA with was my girlfriend through college, and I think we were together almost 6 years. Wow. And then each
formative years too.
Each relationship has gotten shorter and shorter and shorter, like crazy. Like I think part of it's because I'm in my 40s now, and I immediately know like, oh, this is no good.
You're sweet. You're Mrs. Brown. Like, ain't nobody got no time for that. Like you know right away.
Yeah, exactly.
Where are you meeting? And are you on the J date? Are you using Tinder?
I'm not doing anything.
Have you heard of Tinder?
No, yes. What's Tinder?
Tinder's amazing. It is, and again, I don't use it. My buddy does, and he's fucked a lot of women off of it. So kudos to him.
Tinder.
And you basically, it's like you.
Is it the straight grinder?
Yeah, kind of. It'll pop up with photos of people that are within 10 miles of you
that just want to have sex.
That it just pops up their profile pics from Facebook and tells you what your matches are. So if you flip to the right, that means you like them. If you flick it to the left, that means nope, next. And if they flick you to the right as well, then it starts an IM conversation within the app between you and that person.
Jesus Christ, the internet's amazing.
It's amazing. It's the best way to fuck 14-year-olds. It really is. I mean, other than if you don't want to spend the $14 on Rub Maps, I'm saying it is the best
Rub
way.
Maps and Tinder.
Yeah. I tried it with Blender. There was another one that was kind of trying to do the same thing as Grindr.
That was like straight Grindr, right?
Yeah, it was straight Grindr, but it was the craziest thing. This girl that I was dating at the time was sitting next to me on the couch, and she came up, and I thought she was on it. And I'm like, I start yelling at her. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Why do you have this? And she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, what the fuck's this? And she's like, it's all her photos from Facebook. And somebody was using it.
Someone was
as
just
her.
using your profile. Yeah.
Whoa. Internet's fucking scary as shit.
It's always dudes. It's just always comes back to dudes.
Oh, I remember when, like, late 90s when everyone started getting computers and being online, but everything was still dial-up.
Right.
I had a friend who, he worked in the CNN building down on like Wilcox and Sunset. Like it's like multiple offices, most of which have nothing to do with CNN. But he had the best job. He was the editor of the Star Wars fan magazine.
Oh wow! Really?
So he had a great job, and he was like the only person I knew at the time who had a DSL line.
Right, he had corporate internet, man. Forget
and
one line at a time. And
everyone was on AOL.
Right.
And the homepage, you could click on chat rooms or go to chats, and it would have every subject, like pet chat. And like, and we would go into I would go over to his office, and we would spend hours like going in and trolling and baiting people. Like we'd go into the rooms that are like dating, and we'd act like we were girls, and you'd be chatting, and then all of a sudden you'd get an instant message. Like you'd start getting tons of private messages from like dudes going, "Hey, ASL, age, sex, location," and then we'd be like, "Oh, 19,
F Florida, Teen Flirt 17."
It would immediately get dirty, and the guys would be like, "Oh, what do you want to do to me?" And we'd like start getting it really good. And then when it got to the point where we knew these guys were jerking off, we'd be like, "And then I want to hammer a nail into your ball sack," and they'd be like, "What? That's weird."
But okay, so
and then we'd slowly reveal that we were dudes fucking with them, and it was the best fucking time, man.
And you and your buddy finished, right? Well before you got to the nail.
Always. Yeah. You got to finish early.
You finish first, and then you let them down.
Yeah, you don't want them leaving first.
So you must have loved To Catch a Predator then. That should have been your role. That should have been hilarious. For you. You should have walked on playing a bass guitar and been like, have a sit over there.
That's actually hard to watch. It's really uncomfortable watching these fucking dudes.
I don't drink sweet tea anymore.
It's the worst.
So what's the dating pool like now at you said you're 40 now? Or you're
44.
44. Don't look a day over 43, my friend.
Jay Johnston, who was on Sarah's show, had a really funny saying. I forget who we were talking about. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm 53." Like I think it was one of the execs at Comedy Central. Jay's like, "Oh, you don't look a day over ancient." I fucking loved that line.
Brilliant.
Fucking loved that line.
Do you said now at this, at your age, you don't have time, right away. Is that where's the pool? Where are the fish swimming that
I'm afraid to use dating websites.
Really?
I don't know if it's because I occasionally do stuff on TV.
Oh yeah.
But that really doesn't have anything to do with it. I'm just a fucking paranoid person.
Or because it might be your buddy trolling you.
Yes. I think that's part of it. I think that's part of it.
I know this beautiful woman, and she's like she's in LA 9, maybe 10, and we're friends, so we can't date, kind of thing. And we've just.
But that's her rule, clearly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you would.
But she goes on these dates from like Match.com, and like these guys that she dates, and I'm just like, this is not fair, because I've tried these before, and I never got that. I always got. And she, like, this one guy was just seriously like an LA1 maybe, and like just totally lied about his photos and everything like that. And she still went on the date with him. And
she knew that he lied before she went on the date?
when they met.
Oh, well, yeah, clearly.
Yeah. and it was just like, this is
why?
ridiculous.
Like, why in your right mind would you ever misrepresent yourself on a dating? Like, are you really just?
That's the fucking worst, man.
Why would you ever misrepresent yourself on that? Like, who
such
are you
a bummer. It's such a bummer.
It's like lying about your golf score. It's like you're only really cheating yourself.
And I'm also, by the way, I've been in a few of those situations, showing up like back, in the early days of like Match.com, where you show up, and it's someone who clearly had been using photos from like when they were a lot younger.
They're glamour
like
shots from the mall when they were 16.
I am, a 4. I'm not building myself up, but like when they show up and you're like, come on. I showed photos of my fucking self. Like, what are you? And I'm like too nice. Like, I'm a nice guy. I'm never like. Right. I've always wanted to just show up like. They opened the door and just been like, nope, and turn.
I would have had a printed out photo, like so fresh you could smell the toner, and just held it up next to her face, shook my head, crumpled it, and threw it at her nose. That's it.
I took it to the next level with that. With the AOL, the member directory search, where you used to be able to search within your area.
Yeah.
I would just try to get laid, and I met this girl. She was beautiful, awesome blonde hair, and she lived right down the street. I'm like, I'll pick you up, come back to my place, get drunk, fuck. And she's like, all right. So I went and pulled up to the place, and it was a sorority house, and I see the girl, and I'm just like, oh my god, she really is hot. This is crazy. And then this like eclipse came over of this other girl that was her roommate, I'm guessing, and this big girl, like maybe 200 pounds, pretty face though. And I'm like, oh my god, what's that? She gets in the car, and I'm like, hi. Hey, and I was too nice to like say fuck you. Went back to my place. My roommate was just like on the couch. He just goes, and then runs upstairs. I'm like, no, what are you? And
you're on your own, Captain.
So I fucking drank a whole bottle of tequila. Fucked her, like I said I would. Came really fast. Came really fast too, because there's like when there's that much skin, it really feels great. It's like, oh my god, there's so much skin. But,
yeah.
But no, next morning, holy shit, that was the worst drive home ever. That's fucking gross. Hey.
Is that why you always check the gun box on the on rub maps? Is that why you're always clicking it?
The gun box.
I just love a little extra cushion. I'm all for it. Oh my god.
You can't turn around though if you're horny.
Are you still doing Channel 101 madness?
Once in a while.
Yeah.
I haven't shot anything for Channel 101 in a long time, but I currently do a voice for. There's a show called Car Jumper on Channel 101.
I haven't seen that.
It's like a Fall Guy type. It's like a very 80s type of crime type show of a guy he was part of a crime fighting group, and everyone had their own skills, like computers or guns, and his was jumping from one car into another. Like he can jump from one car into another car. That's while
amazing.
They're moving.
Yeah, on the chase. That's amazing.
So every episode of Car Jumper, and there's been like 8 of them now, ends with him jumping from, and he's like a stunt guy. He does stunts, so like it looks really cool. But it's been like 8 episodes, 6, 7, 8 episodes of them, each trying to figure how can we make him jump from one car originally. But the guy who does it, this guy, Jim, he's got kind of a higher voice. And so they want him to be more action-y. And so they shoot everything with him. And then I go in and I dub my voice.
That's amazing.
God, that's
amazing.
Awesome.
I got to jump from this car to this car. Come on, let's do it. We can do this. And it's fucking
phenomenal.
One day out of my month, every month, I'm like in there just trying to match, sync up my voice with this guy's voice.
Do they let it drift a little bit here and
no,
there?
it's really it's really on fire. I don't know if you're looking for that.
I'm trying to pull one up, but
I figured,
your website's not playing it. Here we go. Here's
bummer. We have some Car Jumper.
Yeah.
You guys McCormick Davis family?
Or Davis McCormick. Last names aren't really us.
I'm going to Canada to get a bunion removed.
And we're off. Well, that's weird. The brake pedal's not working.
Well, better call Car Jumper.
And the cruise control's stuck at 30 miles an hour.
Oh, smooth.
He does some pretty amazing shit, this guy.
I ain't the worst that you've seen.
This is him drunk.
Can't you see what I mean?
Hey, I may fast forward just so we can.
Yeah.
I love Might As Well Jump as the karaoke song.
Yeah! Time to blast off this shuttle.
Yeah,
There's like a shitload of these
jump to the
episodes.
U-Haul.
Wow.
Yeah! Oh, thank God.
So fucking retarded.
Perfect.
98, 99,
Some actual dialogue.
100. There you go.
Thank you.
I should be the one thanking you. You saved 4 lives today. The kid had leukemia.
This is the episode where I don't talk.
Cruel God would take
I like.
such
Yeah,
a-
so far the 3 lines they've cut away from Car Jumper.
bulldozer's out of control. Can you help us?
I'm on the case.
There we go. Could have just gone right to that.
I'm on the case.
I'm on the case.
That's fantastic.
I'm on the fucking case.
You know what I miss about Channel 101 is House of Cosby's. I think that's. Do you remember House of Cosby's?
Yeah, Justin Roiland. He's doing a pilot for, or not even a pilot. They're doing episodes for Adult Swim, a new cartoon, which is fucking amazing. And Dan Harmon from Community is writing it with him.
So good. I loved Most Extraordinary Space Exploration.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Every episode. Every
good.
fucking episode. I need you to go to the thing and get that thing and.
That was them. That was Dan Harmon, Sarah Silverman, Justin Roiland, Savan Najarian, and I think somebody else whose name I'm forgetting. They would show up at Justin's house. They would smoke an incredible amount of weed to where they couldn't even function, and then they would shoot this shit and just talking nonsense, and then Dan would edit together a story from whatever they shot.
So good. So good. I love that half those shots made it into each episode too. Like it was just dialogue would begin while smoke is billowing out of mouths and there's coughing in the background. It's like
They
why not?
leave so many mistakes, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Most extraordinary space investigations.
That's right. That's right. What is your creative process like when like? It was so funny when I was listening to like the David Koechner episode of your podcast. It was very funny in the intro. It was I felt for you because there was a moment where like you're rendering your thought in real time, then critiquing what you're thinking as you're saying it, and then immediately slipping from one sentence right into the here's how I feel about what happened, here's how you probably feel about what happened just then, but that's okay. We're moving on to the next sentence again. It was just like right back to it.
I don't understand that.
It was you were talking about you were like I just tried to record this intro and this intro that I'm recording now is probably just as bad as the first one, but it's probably better than and you just like weaved from here I'm setting up what it is to now I'm critiquing it to now I'm moving on again. And
I'll tape. I use a Zoom, H4n recorder because I'll just go to people's houses when I do my podcast. And yep, that's it. Those things are amazing.
So good.
And so I record on that, and then I record intros later. My podcast, it's called UHHH, is on the Feral Network, and so I go in there to record, my intros. And usually I don't remember what I had talked about because it's been like a week or two, and so it's just me rambling. And I like to just do it in one take and let the mistakes
let
lay.
it ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you sit down to write, is that I'm just curious. I always love figuring out how people create.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it okay? Certain type of music needs to be on. Got to be 3 or 4 bowls into the night. How does that process? Are you able to switch it on, or it just sort of happens when it happens?
Usually in the morning when I wake up, if I'm gonna write, I like doing it in the morning with music. There we go, and or at night. A lot of shit I'll write at night, but that has to be kind of spur of the moment. Like
you can't schedule a session at midnight; it just happens.
Yeah, it's usually like when me and my writing partner were doing that military school script for FX. It was kind of we didn't write together. We would write a draft and then send it to each other. And for me, it was just different times. I would come up with an idea and I'd be like, oh shit, where's my laptop? The hardest thing for me is a deadline and someone asking me to do something right away.
Like when people ask you to do Vines?
I did Vines for Vulture.com on Friday. They asked me to do 5 Vines. Like they gave me their Vine account information, so I shot them on their Vine account, and they put them up today, and that was really hard because they were like billing it as how to do funny Vines, and I was like, oh shit, man, wow, that's gonna really come back to bite me in the end. And you know, they were all right. I've definitely done way better Vines when I'm, you know, spur of the moment.
Sure.
It was like, you know, I had one day to like think of things to do, which it's really hard to do.
Was it the kind of thing like you're losing sleep the night before over the fuck? I gotta figure out 6-second videos tomorrow.
I gotta buy props so I'll get a Hollywood toy and costume and walk around and be like, oh, that's a funny mess.
That's a bit. Plunger, arrow set,
yep.
Cowboy hat. Got it. Vines for the day.
Yep. You want to do good Vines? Get high and go to Halloween Town in Burbank.
Yes.
Holy shit.
That's my favorite place.
Holy shit. You will have at least 10 Vines by the time you leave that place.
I have so many props, like fake guns.
Yeah.
They have the best clicky fake guns.
Yeah.
And they all smell like vagina for some reason. Why is that, Brian?
Because I return them.
You should clean them first.
The other good place to go is like drugstores, like Rite Aid. Fucking holy shit.
God. I took a picture. My favorite thing that I've ever seen was at well, there were 2 that were in the same category. One at GNC. As I'm checking out, it's like, you know, they got like a Luna bar in case, you know, you forget you had yoga, you want a little food. And they got maybe the GNC Mega Man vitamin there in case you're missing your nutrients. But then there was this giant black keg that said Max Load on it.
No.
And I took a photo of it, and it was like Max Load. It had like chain link and giant steel text, and it was glowing, and it's like, come longer, come harder.
What?
Come loads. Max Load. And I'm like, there are kids buying vitamins with their parents in this store, and next to your Viagra supplements and your everything else, you've got Max Load for thicker, ropier cum.
Yeah.
At the checkout.
It's good.
Where where gummy bears
Does
should
that
be.
shit work? Is that a
thing?
It
makes it frothier. It's
Did you
definitely
really
bigger.
take it?
Well,
Did you really take it?
I have taken that, but I've taken recently. I take ZMA instead,
You
which is
told me about ZMA.
Yeah,
it's zinc, magnesium, and
which has melatonin in it. It helps
ass loads of cum.
But one of the things is that it makes it have frothy loads, and it just makes it bigger, a little warmer.
Look, I just want you to see you got to see the bottle. I'm trying to pull it up. Can you pull it up there?
Yeah.
I wasn't kidding in the slightest bit about that. When you see their product design, it doesn't take
like
much to figure out what this boardroom meeting was.
Yeah.
Do you have the photo there?
Yeah.
Max Load, come harder, come longer, come more.
Yeah, it's weird what they sell
It
now.
should say come again.
That's not even, you know, being vague. It's like
It's using CUM too.
yeah, they're using the
The MD Science Lab on the side, like how generic, like Doctor from the MD Science Lab. He came up with Max Load.
that's fucking horrific.
I like the reviews on Amazon.
Oh my God! What do they got? What do they got?
I have after taking 2 pills for 2 weeks, I got no increase in volume, length of orgasm, or intensity. My loads just weren't that max.
That man is so angry at his loads.
My loads are still sad.
Just a sad dad. I wish my loads were frothier.
What if it was 4 people that actually had problems? Like every time they shoot, like just kind of like a teardrop came out or
just
something.
a powdered mist.
It's like dust. Yeah.
See, Doug, I couldn't help but notice that your loads have gotten mighty frothy these days. What are you doing for that? Is that kale shakes in the morning? Kale shakes. Well, I got to tell you, it's MD Science's Max Load. Those reviews are great. RJ Hacker wrote, I took 2 pills and wow, I'm 54 years old. His review starts out. I bought it in a 2-pill pack, ended up coming 3 times with nice loads that evening.
Are there how many stars are the reviews on that?
That one's a 5-star for him.
No,
overall,
yeah.
it is.
Shit, I just lost it.
It looks like the average review 3.5 stars.
That's not bad for $24.99. That's a lot of loads.
No, on Star Search, that's good enough to make it for another episode.
Right.
Worked well for me.
Star Search. That is gnarly.
What do you see at the like the Rite Aid that gets you going?
I just like the categories. I do a lot. Like I think my last Vine from the Rite Aid was the feminine hygiene. It's just me walking down the aisle, and it's like feminine napkins, feminine deodorant, and me just like getting more and more grossed out with each. But then, I mean, there's just like diarrhea. Like that shit just makes me laugh, man. And now I have an opportunity to share it with a bunch of people.
Right, and they're giggling along. That's what matters.
I hope so.
Oh, they do. I'm telling you,
some people get offended. The feminine aisle. I'm walking down and it's just a shot of tampons and me just going, and then women are like, get over it. It happens to every woman. I'm like, it doesn't fucking gross me out. I'm doing a fucking comedy bit.
It's
you
a
fucking
bit.
Idiots.
Do you engage? Do you respond to those to those types? You do?
Yeah, I'm a fucking stupid person. I eventually block, but man, I will. Like I did a Vine where one of my last Vines is me like in my car, and you see me look, and I'm like, oh, that guy has the same glasses as me, and it just cuts to a truck with a painting of a guy with crazy glasses, and then it just cuts back to me like guzzling water. It's dumb as shit, but like one girl left a comment going, he's not even drinking the water, the cap's on the lid. By the way, I was drinking the water. You could see the fucking bubbles. And so I just went off on this chick in the comment section. I'm like, I forget what I said.
Like a squeeze cap kind of thing?
I'm like, it's a squeeze cap lid. I'm drinking, you fucking twat. And then I went back and looked, and I'm like, you can see the bubbles. And so I wrote like, you fucking idiot.
You went in for round 2?
I don't let shit go, man. I really...
Is that in general or just specifically with like YouTube and Vine commenters and Twitter
folks?
It's
with commenting, yeah.
Oh my God. Doesn't it...
I will start to write a tweet, and in my head I will immediately... I know how 50 people are going to reply.
Right.
Like, especially if there's an innuendo in it. Like, I just won't tweet it because I'll be like, I don't want to fucking read a person's dumbass reply.
I feel so defeated whenever that happens. Like I'm a lover of puns to a level that's unhealthy. When I'm grandpa age, then it's cool.
Sure.
But and it scares me sometimes how often I delete a tweet or censor it just based off I don't want to fucking deal with it. And it's not like and I'm choosing to deal with it. I'm loading the app, looking at the replies. I'm also putting it out there to get those replies. It breaks my heart every time I do it.
I posted a photo on Instagram. It wasn't even a photo. It was one of those texts. Like you can just post a photo of text of me saying, you probably shouldn't leave a comment because you're bad at it. ... Yes, you. The fucking number of smart ass people. And I knew, and a lot of them were friends of mine, but like the number of like, do you mean me? Or what about this comment? It's just, I eventually deleted the photo because I'm like,
Didn't you delete your entire Twitter following too?
Yeah.
What happened there?
A couple years ago. I was tired. I had like 1 million, I had over 1 million followers. A lot of them were spam bots.
Sure.
But I got in Twitter early on, and I was on some list.
Oh, the suggested user list.
User list.
For those who don't know, that's when you sign up on Twitter. It'll be like, hey, you said you like comedy, or you like this, or you like that. Here are people from those categories, and people from politics.
Which I don't even know they do anymore.
They don't, yeah.
But it was a list of like only like 12 people.
Absolutely.
And it was people, I mean, like Prince, Rainn Wilson,
Barack Obama,
Steve Agee, who nobody fucking knew who I was. And I think
don't underestimate the reach of your masturbation videos, Steve.
I think there was a thing that if you didn't uncheck a box, you would automatically be following me.
Yeah.
So I was on that list, and then one day Oprah did a show on Twitter where she signed up for Twitter on her show, and that day I probably got like 20,000 followers because every housewife started signing up.
Right. You got the Oprah
and
bump.
That's when the spam bots started, and like I was getting, for like 2 years, I was getting like 5,000 followers a day.
Wow.
It was fucking nuts. But on the downside was I would get probably 50 to 100 @ replies a day going, who the fuck are you fucking piece of shit? It was such a bummer, dude. It was such a bummer.
Was it also when, probably at the time when Twitter was still, for a lot of people, text message based? So if you tweeted something out and they were automatically following you and they were doing it through their phone, they were probably getting text messages and had no idea who you were.
Yeah.
That's insane. So then that felt just like a tiny dick stabbing your heart every time one of those would come through?
And I knew most of them were bots, and then I was trying to write a script at the time, like really trying to write a script, and I was going through the whole. I'd wake up in the morning, check my Facebook, check my Tumblr, check my Twitter, check my email. Go to the check Yahoo,
your rub maps,
go to Reddit or whatever, and then just start over again. Like, I wonder if anyone replied, and it was just an endless. It would not stop, and. That was another reason I was like, if I'm going to finish this script, I need to get rid of some of my social networking.
So did you delete your account, or did you just I
immobilized my Facebook. It's really hard to delete Facebook,
right?
And I just deleted my Twitter.
Now, do you?
It felt great, by the way.
Did it?
Felt fucking good.
I fainted when I saw it. I was like, no, what happened? How did you lose all those people?
It fucking felt great. Except for, and then 2 weeks later, I went to the Scott Pilgrim premiere, and the first thing I wanted to do after I watched it was tweet about it. And I was like, God damn it. And then someone was like, you can just sign up again.
Yeah, you can.
And I was like, all right.
You can go back to her, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Or go back to him. Go for it.
Go back.
Let him take another swing. What did you think about Scott Pilgrim?
I loved it. I really liked it.
So underrated.
Yeah.
I mean, did it? I mean, well, I guess it wasn't underrated. It was billed pretty well and got. I mean, people seemed to like it, but
I think it was just aimed at too specific of a.
I think too narrow of a beam of focus.
Video games and comic books.
Yeah.
Which can be
great,
huge, but
they also showed it to half the people who are in that narrow focus before it hit a theater.
At Comic-Con.
I feel they showed it at Comic-Con. I feel like everybody that I knew was like, I just saw Scott Pilgrim. I'm like, when does that come out again? They all saw it before it hit theaters.
It was so good. I thought it was fucking shot
so
well.
I wish they would make a sequel to that.
I do too.
I'm so happy when I heard Kick-Ass 2 is coming out this summer.
Yeah. Did you see the trailer?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the trailer.
Oh yeah, you want to pull it up?
Sure.
Yeah.
I love Kick-Ass. I've
good.
seen it 15 times.
Do you know who's in the sequel? Do you know?
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Because I didn't know.
Oh really?
For after seeing it for a while. Whatever.
Oh, let's pop this up. This is great.
I probably have to watch a commercial first for a commercial.
Fucking internet.
Why? It's a commercial for a commercial.
I
have to watch an Oreo commercial.
I know,
so
and it's probably a 30-second ad for a minute-long trailer. It's like we are going backwards. We had DVRs and replay TV and everything else.
Every internet commercial was the one where it's like you can click off this in
skip
3
it
seconds.
in 5 seconds. Yeah.
This is a 30-second Oreo commercial.
Of course it is. It's commercial for the commeral
because they know everyone will sit through it.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, on one hand, it's like I get it because as someone who makes media, and a lot of that media is subsidized by advertising. Okay, I get it, but fuck, man, enough with that.
Here's Scott Pilgrim.
Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass.
This is Kick Pilgrim. This is. Oh, there's a Redban.
Is there a Redban?
Ready to go again?
What do you want me to do?
Hit me.
You're a 15-year-old girl. Oh. What the hell?
Act like a bitch, get slapped like a bitch.
Oh, God.
Oh, take your tampon out, Dave.
They may wear costumes, but it isn't Halloween. They're real-life superheroes.
Me and Hit Girl were training every day. And there were more and more people joining us every night.
Colonel Stars and Stripes reporting for duty.
Is that Jim Carrey?
It is.
And try to have fun.
Wow, you bulked up.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Wow. A world full of superheroes, huh? Where do they get a load of me? I am gonna make Kick-Ass pay for what he did to my dad.
That was awesome.
I'm building an evil army.
Who is this guy?
He's claiming to be the world's first real supervillain.
We're putting an end to this costume freak. If they're wearing a mask, they're getting detained.
Promise me that you will never dress up in that outfit again.
Kick-Ass isn't a costume. It's who you really are. My daddy made me promise I'd never stop defending this city. I'm prepared for anything.
We gotta make this right.
The anticipation's killing me.
What's the verdict?
There's no room for punks in suits. Just real heroes who can really kick ass.
Game on!
Who the hell are you? We're the good guys.
You're the dead guys.
Franz, wieder. Ow! Jesus! Yeah, there's a dog on your balls.
So good, right?
Chloe Moretz is getting big.
Right?
She's like a teenager.
What's
now.
the countdown clock on her legality?
It was
that
already,
up there?
already went
Now, is that
for me. Oh, legally?
You're on like a daylight savings time kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Well, do you see how buff the lead guy got too?
Yeah,
Oh
they all
God.
shredded up for it. But with you commented on Jim Carrey's body. He's wearing camo in that. Again, harkening back to your military school. Did that? I mean, are you going to have a max load right now? How frothy are you going to be?
I might start crying.
If you hold in the cum too hard, it comes out as tears.
I come tears.
So great to see Jim Carrey back in like a role where he's playing a character.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah,
a
he's
real
great with
character.
characters.
Like, it's so good. Such a talented dude.
Dumb and Dumber. Holy shit.
God damn, it's so good.
And Ace Ventura. Fucking so funny.
I still quote it to this damn day.
Yeah. So good.
Mask, okay.
Yeah.
Not really. They said they're going to do a new Dumb and Dumber, though. Did they not?
That's what I heard.
It got canceled again.
Oh, really?
Ah, shit balls.
God damn it.
Well, did you ever see the bullshit Dumb and Dumber one? Where they made like Dumb and
Dumber and Dumberer.
Yeah, that was so bad. They fucked up on that movie already.
Did you see some Iron Man 3?
I almost went to see it last night, and then I went and saw Place Beyond the Pines. Ryan Gosling. Sorry, I was about to burp. Ryan Gosling.
Is he eating his cereal yet?
Bradley Cooper.
Have you seen the Ryan? That is one of my favorite Vine series
best
ever.
Vine series ever.
For those who haven't seen it, Google Ryan Gosling won't eat his cereal. It's pretty amazing. But
I wish I would have thought of that as fucking genius.
So Beyond the Pines, good.
Place Beyond the Pines. It's almost out of theaters. It's like independent. I don't know if you saw. There was a movie called Blue Valentine. Also, I believe Ryan Gosling, but it's more of a drama. I mean, if you like Drive, you might like this. He plays a badass like motorcycle carny. My only problem was it was too long. It was like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh, fucking movie. Oh, this is if you're on the video version, you see Mr. Gosling grabbing for a spoonful of cereal. Just such a great little bit.
Funny.
It's you got to look up Ryan Gosling won't eat a cereal.
That's up there with Will Sasso's Lemon.
The lemon compilation. I mean, individually they're great, but when someone mashed them together for YouTube,
so good,
fantastic. Where do you think we're headed now? I mean, it's like Vine's 6 seconds long. People are taking to that. Are we going to get to 1 second videos? Are we going to get back to still imagery?
I don't know, man. I mean, they just did a Vine Film Festival category at the Tribeca Film Festival, which that didn't take them long at all.
Yeah, right. The nominees are, and the winner is.
Yeah, what
like
the
done.
Fuck, man.
Crazy. Are you consuming most of your media still on television, or are you watching it on iPads and internet machines?
Mostly internet.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't even have cable at home.
John McCain, his big thing right now is a la carte cable. Have you heard about that? Like
I've been saying I want
he's got
that
a bill
for
where
years.
he's pushing for
What
that
is that?
really hard. Where instead of buying bundles or you buy DirecTV and you get it, it's like
buy
you can
the
just say,
channels.
"Give me HBO, give me Showtime, give me this, give me that," and
Fucking
that's it.
yes, please.
Yeah. I
John
think that's-
McCain?
John McCain.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going for it, which has me concerned. Because it's something that I want, and if he's behind it, I'm concerned.
Right.
What's the
He
rub?
might have
What am I
become
missing?
president with that one.
Yeah, right? Like,
He might have missed the bus.
free Hulu for everyone. I mean, like, fucking waterboard whoever you want, Patriot.
Yeah.
Just give me free Hulu. Let's
That's
go.
a great
Yeah.
idea.
No ads before YouTube. You got it. Sign me up.
Yeah, give me HBO and AMC.
What's so funny is how many channels will go out of business because of that. Because you'll realize no one's watching. Like,
That's the
whatever.
reason.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
and
the reason
that's
it won't
part of
go.
the reason. It's weird. It's that whole game of like major networks trying to leverage their 3 or 4 smaller properties by saying you either carry these 3 or 4 or we don't carry this, and then the providers saying fuck you, we're not going to carry that, and then they go black and people threaten to I mean, I went through that at G4 when DirecTV dropped us.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was insane. We weren't allowed to talk about it. We had like a whole...
Why did they drop you guys?
It was...
I remember that was just so out of the blue.
I wonder if I can talk about it now. I guess I can.
Did you sign a 5-year non-disclosure?
I think, yeah, it's up. Fuck it. No. You know, I signed a whole lot of stuff, but fuck it.
Just change every word.
That'll
to
work
like
in the court of law, right?
Puppy, you know, like work.
Kevin's in prison now.
This guy I know worked for Viacom. And no, it was, you know what it really was? It was because of the NBC Universal merger was happening at that time. And I think Comcast was just like, hey, we don't need to start a fight with DirecTV over G4, which I totally get. You know, like it's unfortunate. Like people were passionate about it. It was like 35% of the subscribers. I mean, an insane chunk were on DirecTV.
Yeah.
But they were like, you know, we don't want to upset the apple cart with this tiny little gaming thing, this nerd network. So don't say a word. We'll get it back on. It'll be just fine. I had the Yellow Sat initiative, which I was going to encourage viewers, if they lived in apartment complexes, to pee on DirecTV dishes if they were attached to the balconies beneath them and take video and photos. That was going to be. I was going to just launch the Yellow Sat initiative to, like, you know, jam their radar.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Of course, G4 wouldn't have supported that, but we had like a whole site ready to go, and you know, they called me in and they were like, "How do we tackle this?" I'm like, "Let's do a landing page. Call it We Are G4." And DirecTV basically said, like, their thing was, well, no one watches this network. And I was like, that's bullshit.
That is
bullshit.
Crazy.
People watched it. I mean, it had shit shows on it, but people watched the shows that they liked.
Especially
and they watched
your
it.
show.
People liked Attack a lot, yeah. They liked Attack and Ninja Warrior and X-Play. So I was like, send in videos. Let the fans, the DirecTV subscribers, send in a video saying, hi, I'm a G4 viewer. Stop telling me that I don't exist and that I don't matter.
That's
and
great.
To me, that was the approach to take. Like, let the viewers and the fans speak up and let DirecTV hear it.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, cool. That's a good thing. We're going to run with it. Site was built, technology there, things ready to go. And then 2 days before, it was like, and we're not going to mention anything anywhere to anyone ever. And just let that be. And don't worry, we'll be back on in a year. Ooh, whoops, don't worry, we'll be back on in 2 years. We'll be back. The network's going away. Wow. It was just like... I don't begrudge anybody for it. I totally get it. Like, I understand that move, but therein lies a case where a la carte would have probably saved our network in some small way and would have saved us from restrictive digital deals. Like, we were operating off of deals that said we couldn't put our shows online. You could put clips here and there, you can put a percentage, but like the digital connected network was not allowed to post clips online because of some cable affiliate, in Cincinnati that had an agreement, which... Again, I get it. They signed an agreement, but fuck, man.
That's so lame.
So, are you optimistic for the future of media and making shows and getting them done? Or
yeah, I think so. I mean, I think I don't know if you saw or read Patton Oswalt's state of the media address that he did at the last Just for Laughs festival, where he did 2 separate addresses, one to performers and artists and one to network executives, saying you need to really start paying attention to what the consumers want, because we're getting to a time where people don't need you as much. We have everything we need to make TV shows right here in this little fucking phone.
Exactly. I press a button and I'm live in high definition to whoever wants to watch it easily.
Yeah.
I
think it's not going to be too long until...
In the meantime, though, fingers fucking crossed for that pilot, Steve.
It would be so awesome if I could move.
I hope it happens, man. How can people help with that? Is there anything they can do? Can they tweet words to NBC and not use profanity and don't drop N-bombs? Death Squad. But no,
I don't think so. I think
there's nothing.
I feel like NBC knows what they're going to do with it. I think I could be totally wrong because I don't know how any of this shit works, but I think we'll probably be put on the back burner until the fall when they see which shows do poorly, and then they'll
call you in. So you're warming up. You've got the donut around the baseball bat.
Yep.
And hanging out.
Sitting in our sweats or our fucking track jacket.
Do you get paid for something like that? Or are you like paid to be on retainer or on hold? Or no? It's like you just keep doing another show?
I think the main characters are, I'm a recurring character. So, nope, not for me.
At least you got that tab to survive on, good sir. Tab in your vines.
I got a lifetime supply of that shit.
Steve, where can people find you on the interwebs? How can they add you on their Vines and their Twitter spheres and your Tumblrs?
Most social network is just my name. My Twitter is @SteveAgee, all one word, and that's linked to my Vine. And my Tumblr is Steve Agee. My Instagram is Steve Agee. It's all just one word.
You got some stuff coming out in the meantime, in between NBC and...
I have another thing I can't say that I'm working on, which will...
Are you going to pee on satellites? Is that what it is?
Which will be awesome, but yeah, that's it. Just watch for me on the internet.
I'll keep my fingers crossed, good sir.
And check out my podcast, Steve Agee, on the Feral Network.
When's the next episode?
It should be this week. I have Colin Hanks coming up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great dude.
Yeah,
great dude.
Good guy.
Listen, I can't thank you enough for coming by. Thanks for sitting down, and I'm sorry I took an hour and a half of your life, but
thanks both
that
of
was
you guys.
so much fun. I wish you the absolute best. I sincerely hope the NBC thing gets picked up. If it doesn't, there is a thing called the interwebs. And,
you'll be
I hope
hearing.
you take to it.
Catching on.
You'll be hearing.
I hear the kids are into it. Brian Redban, sir, anything you want to promote, plug?
I'll be in
out?
San Diego next week at the Comedy Store in La Jolla with Sarah Tiana and Tony Hinchcliffe. That's I don't even know what weekend. Next weekend. Anyways, go to comedystore.com. And then Comic-Con 2013.
Yeah.
Love it. Nice and easy. I'm going to probably go to Comic-Con, but so let's figure something out there.
Definitely.
And then the Podcast Fest here in LA, too.
LA Podfest. Yeah, I think that's August or September.
Shit. And I should really... Sorry, I just realized. We have a date in June. We have a date for the new Stroke of Genius, or episode 2 of the Stroke of Genius improv show, which, by the way... Would love to have you by if you're interested. It's April O'Neil was our guest and our first,
awesome.
Who's
our
watching
first Stroke
right
of
now.
Genius.
Love
Yeah,
April.
hello April. Hey sweetheart. She was our guest of honor in the first episode. It is a improv comedy show about
awesome.
internet pornography.
Nice.
So come on, let's all get together and watch some porn together.
Yeah.
So we have a date. Myself, Zach Perlman. We will be doing that at the Meltdown Theater, the old Nerdist Meltdown Theater, sometime early June. I'll plug that properly at some other time. In the meantime, go to pointlessforum.com if you want to chat, send in show suggestions, lots of cool fan art. There's an animated GIF thread, which is heating up the way the internet should. I am posting one of a cat on a Roomba tonight. Very excited.
Oh, love it.
Not the one you've seen. This is a different one.
New cat on a Roomba?
Twist. So head over to pointlessforum.com.
It's a dead cat on a Roomba.
It's a Roomba on a cat.
The Roomba runs over the cat and just sucks it right up. And also head over to supercreative.tv. Again, that's supercreative.tv. I have a new series I'll be announcing very, very soon. We're still airing Player vs. Pain. If you haven't seen the latest episode, it's got people playing Mortal Kombat while being shocked and flogged. And some dude gets a very, very powerful taser to the arm. He takes it like a man, which is cool, but also not the reaction you want. I mean, when you're filming it, you want someone to cripple and piss themselves.
Yeah.
But still cool. Check out the episode on Machinima Prime. And we have another digital series, which Oh, no, I cannot announce it yet. So I will be announcing that soonish. Go to supercreative.tv. Find me on Twitter @Pereira. Again, thank you to Steve Agee. Please find him on the Twitter spheres and the Vines. Kisses, hugs, and belly rubs. Good night, my friends.
Chaka-chee, chaka-choo, chaka-chicka-chow. Chaka-pee, papa-poo, para-pee-a-bow. Para-boom, para-pee, para-boom-bow. Paka-pee, paka-poo, paka-pee-a-bow. Para-boom, para-pa, para-pee-bow.